Welcome back. So we're back in the shade and it's another episode of working on Abbie's car. So basically in this episode we will be priming the engine bay, getting it all prepped for paint, stripping down brake calipers, getting them all ready for paint, tidy them all up, make sure they're not seized, anything like that. And once we get this painted, it's to build back up and getting the engine and gearbox in. So yeah, there's going to be a lot going on in this episode, and hopefully we'll take it to a point where we're nearly ready to turn key. The ECU has been posted to the list today, so hopefully within the next couple of days he'll have that sorted. So it's going to be a busy week. Yeah, this episode will be probably the whole week because we're only out in the evenings, a couple of hours every evening, so we're doing our best. And hopefully at the end of this video you will be able to see 2.5 E46 turning over. Fingers crossed. So that's the plan for the end of this episode. So let's get to work. We have a lot of stuff taken out of this car. Small shed problems. But anyway, yeah, we went ahead, got the first coat of primer on the engine, a few newspapers, masked everything up, primed in under the wheel arches as well, all that done. So we just need to wait for this to dry. As they say, it's like watching paint dry. Basically, that's what we're doing now. Don't think there's anything else we can be at in the meantime. Don't think so. So Abbie's outside actually. She's power washing the subframe, cleaning up the subframe. So we'll probably hit that with a bit of black, freshen it all up. And yeah, wait for this primer to dry. And then we can actually reveal the colour that Abbie is painting her engine bay. So she has decided the engine bay will be one colour, and then under the wheel arches then we're just going to paint it like a neutral colour just to tidy it up. Yeah, we're just going to have to wait for this paint to dry, and then we will be going on with the new funky colour on the engine bay. I've just got the calipers stripped down. They're pretty mucky and dirty, so they need to be all wire brushed and sanded down, and then we need to get more primer because we ran out of primer on the engine bay. So yeah, need to do them, get them all tidied up and get them painted. And Abbie's putting the first coat of paint on her adjustable arms. Yeah. Your face doesn't look that bad. What happened to your face?
I had a fight with some degreaser.
Where did it go?
Straight into my eye.
Oh, it's fine. Man up. So you have the first coat on your trailing arms.
I do, yeah.
And yeah, we need to get more primer. Wonder is our engine bay ready to go, is it? Bring down that other can of beautiful colour you have. Yeah, I think we can put one coat on that.
Yeah.
See how we get on. That's the new colour down.
Yeah.
Looks very well, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think many people might have guessed.
Well, didn't guess in the comments though. That's a nice colour. So I think I said earlier on the video, when this is all dry and all done, then we'll just maybe mask off this, tape it somewhere along here, and then just paint down in there gunmetal grey or something. Yeah. Just so it's all tidy. Like, it is primed up there now. I think we'll paint, where we painted pink there, we'll paint that gunmetal grey as well. So yeah, we'll mask all that up and paint all that in there gunmetal grey, and it'll all be nice and neat. But yeah, it does. Looks the business. So that's it for this evening anyway. I said in this video it's going to be over the whole week, like.
Yeah, well.
So hopefully at the end of this episode we'll have the engine back in. I actually need to get brake lines and fittings and stuff like that. We need to start doing that. Oh, your brake master cylinder. we take off that Abbie there, and then clean this up. I think it is pretty clean. It might even need to be painted. No, might just need a good clean up. Oh, there's a bit of rust on it, so might just clean that up, Scotch-Brite it, and paint it matte black.
Yeah.
So at least then when everything goes back into the bay, everything looks brand new inside in the bay, you know.
Yeah.
So let's flip to the next evening and we start reassembling this. Update on the engine bay. Yes, it is looking pretty good. We started running all the loom back into the car, or into the engine bay. All the stuff for the lights. I'll probably get rid of it because it is very messy here and here. I need this one, may get rid of that. Currently just running brake lines. As I says, I was deleting the ABS, so that's all gone. So yeah, I wouldn't be a master at this now, but hopefully front brakes goes into the T, and then T's out into one wheel, and T's out there into the other wheel. So yeah, I'm just trying to keep it over as far as I can, so we don't run into any trouble when we're putting in the engine. And this here is the last piece, which will be going from the master, and I'm just figuring out what way I'm going to run it. So basically I'm going to try and run it along here nice and neatly as possible, and down here and down and back along with the fuel lines where the original ones ran. Run it down along the tunnel and back up into the hydro. But yeah, just get a little tech screw that there, keep it in place. It's nice and tight. I'm hoping it doesn't affect anything. But yeah, so Abbie's been spraying out here as well. She's topped up her pink there. So yeah, painted all in under here, black. You can't see it. Oh, silver here. What are you doing?
Just spraying the calipers.
So yeah, Abbie's getting the brakes all cleaned up. See your new brake lines. Do you even know what you're looking at?
Yeah, seeing it nice and clean. Look.
So that's out to your fronts done, and then we just need to run that last piece of line there back into the car. So it's an extremely busy week. We are absolutely flat out working on the car. Haven't really had much time to be getting videos. We're trying to get as much as we can. I'm just finished doing all the brakes in the car. Basically all new lines ran. We also have the Neil Dawson's Kdkustoms hydro fitted now and all plumbed in. And we also have a short shifter as well, which he sponsored Abbie. Fair play to Neil, thank you very much. We haven't got the shifter fitted yet. We probably will fit the shifter when we get the gearbox back in to know exactly where we need to bolt it to the tunnel. But yeah, I'll just show you a little montage of what I have been up to and what Abbie has been up to. And yeah, we're getting into the build of the car, and we're like, well, I want to build it right, like I do with every car. So yeah, we're just going over absolutely everything, and Abbie just wants to get it done. But the way I look at it is, we take our time now, do the car right, we'll go out the first day, the car will go flawless, fingers crossed. But put the time in now, and hopefully it'll save the downtime at the track. Pretty dark in here. Got this all mounted up now. Neat enough, it's okay. Hopefully we've no leaks or anything like that. And yeah, I think the Irish Girls Car Scene sponsored Abbie this very cool steering wheel, leather, pink stitching. It's very, very nice. And we've got our hydro mounted right here. So hand to steering wheel, or hydro to steering wheel, absolutely perfect. So that should be really easy for Abbie to pull the hydro and get her hand. Like, it's just very, very well impressed with that now. So as I said, the shifter should be going somewhere around there. So we'll just wait until we get the gear linkage back in, and then we know. But this all looks very, very well in here. But yeah, it's extremely dark in here, so I won't spend too long in here. But yeah, very well impressed with that from Neil and Kdkustoms. And the steering wheel from Irish Girls Car Scene. Just all ties in. Looks very, very nice. Nice.
Oh, stop. We ran out of spray paint, so.
Abbie's just touching up her very pink calipers. And she also has her subframe painted as well. And another thing we have here is a whole rear end, all polybush and stuff like that. We're thinking we are going to put it in because we have all the polybushes in it. And huge thanks to Nathan Corcoran, who sponsored Abbie all of this whole 2.5 rear end with all the polybushes as well. We also have the front hubs from Abbie's donor car as well. I think Jack will be taking them back up the north to get modified, so we'll be modifying them here, shortening this, moving this back. Not exactly sure what it does. It does give you more angle, so I don't know what sort of theory it is, but yeah, I'm gonna cut that, move that back in, and between that and the 36 arms, yeah, it will have crazy lock. So you're going to finish off doing that, Abbie?
Yeah.
I have all the brake lines done. And I think we're near time ready for engine time.
Yeah.
So I want to say a huge shout out to Pavilius. You can see his number there and his Instagram, Facebook. Unbelievable service. We sent this ECU up to Pavilius on Monday, and yeah, he's deleted the EWS for us. Raised haircut limiter, 7,000 RPM, aftercat lambda O2 sensor disabled, ABS, VVS speed signals removed, thermostat temps lowered. This is going to be a really good ECU. So yeah, with Abbie's M52 TU, hopefully this will be pushing 190, 200 horsepower out of it, hopefully. But big thanks to Pavilius for doing that. So if you need your ECUs remapped, EWS, anything like that, do get on to Pavilius, because you don't want to be the one when you're starting your engine and you realise your EWS is stopping you from doing that. So get your ECU to Pavilius. He'll wipe all that off, and then it'll just mean that you are ready to get your engine in, plug in your ECU, and away you go. So thanks again, Pavilius. Just back in the shed, and I'm just doing a little bit of prep ahead of a very busy day tomorrow, Saturday. So yeah, we got Jack coming down and a friend of mine, Connor, as well. There's a whole power man coming here tomorrow, and the plan is to get this engine and box in, hopefully get her turning over by the end of this episode. So yeah, just doing a few little things to, what would you say, get us ahead of the game tomorrow. I still have to collect the engine in the morning, to collect the engine off Keelan, which is only up the road, so it's fine. But if you are following this channel, we have 2 broken bolts in that block of Abbie's. You probably would have seen it in previous episode. We welded it, we done everything. So we need to get that engine here, so there may be a bit of time involved there getting them out. So we're going to drill them out and just run bolts through them, nothing bolts through them, or bolting them not. So that's what we're going to do to overcome that. So there will be a little bit of time with that, but when I have the lads here, we will be taking out the full rear end out of the car, and we'll get Abbie to sand them all down and prime them, paint them, get them all mint, and then full polybush rear end in the car as well. So yeah, it's extremely busy building a drift car in 3 weeks. So yeah, I'll just show you what I'm doing here, just getting ahead of the game for tomorrow. Just fitted the subframe back in, so Abbie's just all cleaned up and nicely painted, and her new engine mounts, polyurethane engine mounts. So they're a nice little asset, because as you've seen from the previous video, her others were broke, but lucky enough I had these spare. So she's got her new engine mounts, all the brake lines, all done. So we've got all that done, and yeah, basically we are ready for an engine now. That escalated quickly, Jack, didn't it? So we've been extremely busy all morning. We've got the engine here, we've got the holes drilled out, which you've seen in previous episodes. We've got a 2.5 flywheel clutch on and Abbie's 318 gearbox, and we are about to drop it into the car. Are you excited?
Yeah.
No, you're not. You're just pissed off because you've tied up all the tools. Right, Jack, Abbie's going to start videoing here. We need to get this in.
Now, what's going on now?
We've got the engine in, and it was actually savage. It was just fitted like a glove. Engine's in. We need to sort out all this mess. Get it all plugged into Pavilion CCU. I think they're for the sensors underneath, but there were 2 sensors, but they're mapped out of it now, so they'll just be spare parts. It's not very well in on the engine mounts. Oh, actually, we have a problem. We need to sort this here. Found E-wire broken. So we need to try and get that sorted. However, that happened, so we need to join up them wires. Yeah, it's going pretty well. You have a big interview now very soon.
I do, yeah.
So our local paper has seen what Abbie's doing, and he's very interested to do an article on it, so Abbie's going to be doing an interview fairly soon. Me and Jack probably just hide. Stand from the yeah, so gearbox is on. We'll be able to drill out your tunnel now for her short shifter. Yeah. And hopefully it all lines up. Get the prop on. Yeah. But I wonder should we bolt all up here now and then do everything up this end, see if we get her turning. And then go to the back end, then get this sorted first. Yeah. Few lines hooked up, exactly. Can we get it then? Ah, yeah, very, very easily. Brilliant. Yeah, I'll just go on like that. Might need to cut them a bit. I left them a little bit long. We'll put on a few lines. We got rid of the old BMW ones. These stupid things. So we got rid of them. And we'll just put on rubber hoses. Yeah. So that should do the job.
And we'll be back when it's running?
We might have a few other little bits and pieces to do. I really need to get silicone noses. Yeah. Because there's a brand new aluminium rad to go into this car, and we need to get them. We'll see.
You're not turning over what you're saying now.
Yeah. Yeah, we need to get out of it as well. Right, I'll start working on joining up these wires. And what are you going to start working on?
Before we do forget again.
Yeah. And the fuel lines and the wire.
And we get that hooked up when we turn it over.
What's happening here now?
Got the new noise. Basically, car's not starting. And EWS is deleted on the ECU, but we're also told that we should join the 2 big wires here off the ECU, the EWS plug. So I don't know, do you plug out the EWS box or just leave it plugged in with the 2 wires joined? I don't know, we'll try it either way.
Leave it plugged in.
See what happens. Yeah. Nope. That is not our problem. Plug the box out. Yeah. Joys of cars. Time for the pub. So we've given up. Got everything in and went to crank the car, and we can't figure it out, Jack, can we?
No, I'm clueless, like.
Have all our powers, have all our earths. I think we're boiling it down to this engine being an auto.
Yeah.
And it's looking for like a brake pedal signal or something to say that or it's in neutral or whatever. So we're not just quite sure. We're not, the automatic ECU is in the bin, so it's just down, I don't know. So we're going to give Pavilius a shout. Pavilius' work on the ECU is absolutely perfect, but there was something that we're missing, and I'm sure Pavilius will be able to just answer straight away for us. But it's getting extremely cold and we're hungry, Jack, aren't we?
I get it. I funny know what.
Drink a pint too, see what?
You offering?
Right, so look, we've had an extremely hard day. We've got the engine and box in, props all up, wiring as best as we can. We've no water or anything like that on yet, but we do need to get that bracket for the gearbox as well. We didn't even get near the back end today. Okay, we're back at Abbie's car again, as you've seen from the last Saturday evening. We just got to a point where we couldn't get the car to start. And I want to say a huge shout out to Pavilius and Map DCU first for giving me advice, and also to Gary Farr and E46. Jesus. Somebody's in trouble. So yeah, basically that was a lorry sliding by my house, so I didn't hear a bang, so it must be alright. But yeah, huge shout out to the lads. Basically, we have ignition lights, and Pavilius told me to check like my earths and DWS as well. We joined the 2 black wires and DWS in the car. We done that as well. Checked all the voltage, everything is 100%. The earth's fine. So I was kind of stumped. Gary also told me on the one of the pins going into the ECU X0004 to put power to pin 26. I put power to pin 26 and that still didn't work either. So I had no help in the shed, so I had to go and get my good old grandmother to come out and turn the key for me, and she turned the key a couple of times, and while I was testing the signal wire going to the starter to shoot out the starter to engage the flywheel, and I was getting no power there, so that straight away little light bulb in my head. So I was like, right, we have a problem there. So what I done was I got a bit of a wire and I just put 12 volts through it, and I don't know if I can do it on the video now because I kind of needed a little bit of a light to see where it is, but let me see, can I try it and show you? Okay, so I have the flash on, and when I put the power to the signal wire to shoot out the starter, if I can get this right, you can see it there. Boom. So that tells me that my starter is good. So I think I have two options now. Find out why I'm not getting that signal to the starter, or wire up a start button to it. Also I have another problem, I can't hear a fuel pump running as well. So the fuel pump not running and not getting a signal to the starter, that could be an issue. So I'm going to talk to Pavilius and Gary now and see, have they seen that before? It could be an issue, but I think I can bypass it. So let's say if I put the fuel pump on a switch, put the ignition on a switch, and then put a start button in, that should rule out all of that stuff. It does mean a good bit of wiring and things like that. So if I have to do it, I have to do it, but I'll talk to the guys first, see what they say. But the engine is turning, starter is good, it's turning the flywheel. Basically we're using the automatic starter, we're using 325, an M50, the earlier M52 flywheel clutch pressure plate release bearing. That's all turning fine, so that's good. But yeah, it's either do a bit of wiring or find out what the issue is here. And engine is pretty dirty, it does need a good clean up. So yeah, we're making progress, so we're very, very close. So now just to figure out the last little bits. Okay, so yeah, this is very, very fun, but I'm working through it. I get no power to the starter when we turn the ignition. I have no fuel pump. There's a lot of things here that I don't have, but this plug here that's on the M52 TU engine has nowhere to plug into on the 318, but I have found this plug here which has the same color wires as this. So what I have done is I have cut the matching plug for this off the old engine, and I'm going to try and wire it to this, which will plug these two together. And also I have this one here as well with 4 wires on it, and I have this one here off the M52 with 3 wires on it. So I'm going to wire up these 3 wires to the plug from the old engine here, which I have, not this one, no, I don't know where I left. Oh, I have it here, to this one, because there is the same color of wires in this one. So we have the blue and yellow, we have the green and white, and we have the red and white. So I'm going to snip these wires, join it to this plug here, plug that in there, and do the same with this one to this plug here, and then that should be all my wires done. So okay, let's see if it works. So I've quickly just joined up these two here and plugged back into the loom of the Abbie's car from the M52 TU engine. So let me go turn on the ignition and see if we have anything new just by joining these, see if it has made any difference, and then we'll move on to this plug here and wire that one up. But let's see if this has made any difference to our situation. Just great, the battery has died, but our starter is now clicking, so that has sorted our starter. So by wiring them up, our starter is clicking. Now our starter wasn't doing that, so now we know that that is our starter end of it. So okay, let's go and try and rob a battery, get some more power into this car, and let's join up the other wires. Hopefully it'll work. Okay, so I made a little boo-boo. I cut the wrong plug off, but yeah, I just joined up the wires roughly here, and if this works, all the matching wires, the whole lot. I have one spare wire here on the loom from Abbie's car, but these are the 3 wires matching going to the engine. So I've wired them up just quickly. If this works, then I'll go back after and I'll tidy it up. I don't have any more spare plugs now. This would have been for the automatic ECU, and this one here. This plug here is from our ABS, which we're not using anymore. The 2 plugs there are for the automatic box, and these 2 here are our lambda sensors further back in the exhaust, which we're not using. Pavilius have been mapped out. Okay, here's the moment of truth. I do not have any more spare plugs. I have everything wired now. So, okay, let's see what happens. I've robbed a battery from the brother's car. He would be well impressed. So I have the extra power there. Okay, let's see what happens. Could be good, could be bad. Let me see, can I hear a fuel pump? Yes, I have a fuel pump. So the fuel is pumped there now, has pressurized. Let's turn it. A little bit lazy. I think I'm very low on power. Yeah, I'm extremely low on power. I shouldn't be with 2 batteries. What a feeling. What a feeling when you get that running. I had to get my dad out. But yeah, just problems with the battery. The battery just hadn't enough power. So we got a battery with well over 12 volts in it, and boom, first turn, away she went. So yeah, what a feeling. Huge thanks to Pavilius and Gary for talking me all through it. In the end, I actually seen what mistake I made. So basically the M52 TU, basically the plugs for the starter and the fuel are different to the 318 loom, let's say, coming out of the 318 shell. They're different. So I just seen the different colour and wires and different plugs that wouldn't plug together. So I was like, that's it. So I cut all them plugs off and joined up the wires, and yes, she is running. So we just ran it for a couple of minutes. We've no water, we've no nothing through the engine. So just ran it for a few minutes. It's ticking over. It's very loud because we've no exhaust, but I'm super happy. Oh, my head was wrecked. But yeah, I'm going to leave it at this for this episode, because that is a milestone, this episode. And yeah, now it's just all putting back together, getting water in the system and getting all plumbed back up. And we do still have that problem underneath with the gearbox mount. We need to elongate the holes on the gearbox mount to let the gearbox mount slide back a little bit, just to bolt up the gearbox mounts. But yeah, very, very happy with that. Of course, Abbie wasn't here to see it, but she will be super excited. I don't know, I think we have like 2 weeks left to go, so we're going to be under pressure. But look, huge thanks for videos, Gary Farrell, Garage E46. Go and check out Garage E46 YouTube channel. He is a wizard on BMWs, and do check him out and subscribe to his channel. Me and him are at a race to 1,000 subscribers. So when you've done subscribing to Gary at Garage E36, please do subscribe to the channel. We're so close to 1,000 subscribers and we're trying hard. So yeah, hope you enjoyed this episode, and on the next one we should be putting this whole thing back together and one step closer to getting Abbie on track.